Let me be very clear from the beginning. This video is not about Muslims as people. Muslims are individuals, diverse, complex, and capable of living peacefully anywhere. This video is about Islam as a system of ideas, and whether that system is compatible with the core values of Western liberal societies. If we cannot separate people from ideology, we cannot have an honest conversation. So let's talk honestly. What defines Western society? Western societies, at least in principle, are built on a few foundational ideas. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion and freedom from religion, equality before the law, individual rights over collective religious authority, secular governance, the right to question, criticize, and leave belief systems. These values didn't fall from the sky. They emerged in direct opposition to religious authority, especially Christianity. Western society works because religion was pushed out of law. This is crucial. Islam is not just a religion. Islam is fundamentally different from Christianity in structure. Islam is a belief system, a legal system, Sharia, a political system, a social code, a moral framework. Muhammad was not just a spiritual figure. He was a political ruler, lawgiver, and military leader. This matters, because when Islam is practiced traditionally, it does not accept the separation of religion and state, and Western society cannot function without that separation. Sharia versus secular law. At the heart of the incompatibility is Sharia law. Sharia includes blasphemy punishments, apostasy penalties, gender inequality in inheritance and testimony, restrictions on speech, criminalization of homosexuality, religious supremacy over civil law. Western societies are based on equal citizenship, not religious hierarchy. When Islamic law claims divine authority, it cannot be reformed democratically without challenging its divine origin. And once law becomes God's law, debate ends. That is incompatible with pluralism. Freedom of speech and criticism in the West. You can insult politicians, you can criticize ideologies, you can mock religions in traditional Islam. Criticizing Muhammad is a serious offense. Questioning the Quran is forbidden. Blasphemy is punishable. This creates an unavoidable clash. A society cannot be both open and immune to religious criticism. If an idea demands protection from scrutiny, it does not belong in a free society. Individual rights versus Ummah. Western ethics prioritize the individual. Islam prioritizes the Ummah, the collective religious community. This leads to pressure to conform, honor culture, family and community enforcement, punishment for leaving Islam, social control over personal life. Western society says, live how you want as long as you don't harm others. Traditional Islam says, live how God commands or face consequences. These are fundamentally opposing moral frameworks. But Muslims live peacefully in the West. Yes, they do. And the reason is simple. They live peacefully because Western law protects secularism, not because Islam allows it. Muslims thrive when Sharia is not enforced, apostasy is legal, criticism is protected, gender equality is enforced by law. In other words, Muslims integrate despite Islamic doctrine, not because of it. Islam, as a traditional ideological system, is not compatible with Western liberal values. That does not mean Muslims are incompatible. It means ideas must adapt. Western society does not bend to religions. Religions survive here only when they accept secular law, individual freedom, equal rights, open criticism. The future belongs to reform or irrelevance. An honest conversation is the first step. This video critiques religious ideas, not people. No hate, no racism, no collective blame.